Hello YouTube reloaders. Thanks for watching. Hornady Loader here. My standard disclaimer, I am not an employee of Hornady Manufacturing, nor do I have any interest, financially or otherwise, in the sale of Hornady products. I've been reloading for almost 35 years, and for the last 20 years I've been using Hornady equipment almost exclusively, hence the name Hornady Loader. The Hornady logo is a registered trademark of Hornady Manufacturing, Grand Island, Nebraska. So today's video will be a quick tour of my reloading benches. First I have my casting table. There is another video out there where I describe in detail how to build this particular table. You can make it any width that you want or any depth. But this one is only about 3 foot wide. I just needed something that'll fit in this space here between the door and the hallway for casting. The casting table is set up kind of in a clockwise fashion here. Over on the left, on the bottom, I have my lead. There's a couple 100 pounds of lead there in ingots. It moves up to the casting, or the lead pot, where it's melted down, cast into molds, dropped into my pan here with the ugly towel. Nice thing about being divorced is you can do that to your towels and no one complains. Over on the right here I have my lubricator sizer, and then bullets go into the jug here. So Folgers coffee can. As you can see, you'll notice that I drink a lot of coffee. And then they come down here for storage until they're ready to be loaded. Across the back I have Pegboard. Has some of my tools for casting, my gloves, glasses, and so on. Up at the top I have my library of manuals, my Dilbert that I've had for I don't know, 20 years now. It goes everywhere with me. And I stuck a plant on the top there, just kind of make it look a little nicer because this whole thing is inside my home. I have my shelving unit over here with all my larger tools. Got my gun vices up at the top, some of my reloading tools, powder scales, and case trimmers, and so on. More tools. Down the bottom here I have all my gunsmithing tools and whatnot. And then here is my casting table. Can't get far enough away from it to get the whole thing in frame at one time. But this is also set up kind of in a clockwise fashion. Over on the right here, when I come back from the range, the brass will go into these tubs over here to be waiting to be cleaned and reloaded. Got an empty space there for my Franklin Arsenal wet tumbler, but I don't have that in there yet. I have my Hornady Sonic Cleaner, my Hornady case tumbler. Once they're cleaned and polished, then they come over here. I separate them by manufacturer and caliber, ready to be reloaded. As you can see, I drink a lot of coffee. On the left up here is my Hornady lock and load AP press with my case feeder, my bullet feeder. I even have the control panel on there with the warning lights to tell me when something's wrong, like I'm out of powder, out of primers, that sort of thing. The left here I have pegboard where I hang my tools and some extra dies, things like that. On the right I have all my dies in die holders. There's my Hornady case prep center. And on the right is my Hornady single stage. Now you'll notice that both of my presses are mounted on these stands. These are from Inline Fabrication. It's their Ultra Mount stands. They make them for most of the major manufacturers: Hornady, Dillon, Lee, RCBS, etc. They make quite a few different accessories for presses. Let me just talk about them. You can find them at inlinefabrication.com. They make a lot of really cool pieces of equipment for reloaders. You know, there's extra things that you can't find anywhere else. In addition to the Ultra mounts, they have what they call their ergo roller arms. And this little guy here rotates, and they're set up such that the length of throw is a lot shorter than the standard arm that comes with it. Normally the arm would be way down here somewhere when it's, when the ram is fully upright. But this is a little bit different. Since I like to load standing up, this makes it really handy. I don't have to bend over to get the arm all the way down. Again, that's from Inline Fabrication as well. They also make a lot of little doodads, like in the back here. Let me move the arm out of the way. They have what they call their Piggyback Tie Holder, and it mounts to the top of the Ultra mount, and you can put extra dies, things like that, that always remain with the press in the back. Now the holes in the die mounts, they make them in two different sizes. One for the standard 7/8 inch dies, but if you're using the Hornady lock and load system, you've got these bushings on the bottom of each of your dies, and they won't fit into a standard die holder. So Inline Fabrication makes them with a slightly larger hole that will fit a die with the lock and load case bushing on them, or die bushing. They also make this arm here that fits to the back of your press. It allows you to hang a couple extra bins. It articulates. You can move it around, get it set just the way you want it. I use it for my press tools. When I'm loading, I usually have this bin filled with bullets, whatever bullet I'm loading at the time, so that if my bullet feeder hiccups, I can just grab a bullet out of the bin, pop it on the shell, and go without missing a beat. Now the bullet feeder for the Hornady system, normally this mounts on your table. Let me get this bin out of the way here so you can see the arm. Normally it mounts directly to your workbench. Now that's if your press is also mounted to the workbench. So the bottom of the press and the arm for your bullet feeder is at the same level. Since I'm on a 9.5 inch or 9 5/8 inch stand, Inline Fabrication makes an arm here that will mount to the back of your Ultra mount and allows you to mount your bullet feeder at the same level as the bottom of the press, so it's at the right height to be used. Here I've got my tools and some extra dies, things like that for reloading. In the back here there is a rail, also made by Inline Fabrication, that allows you to hang your bins to it. They have some other accessories. You can put your put die holders on there and so on and so forth. But it keeps everything nice and organized. Things don't slide around on you, that sort of thing. On the right, I have it's not pegboard, there's a piece of plywood behind that hardboard there that I can screw things into. The die holders here, again by Inline Fabrication, they're set up for the lock and load bushings. You can get them for either a set of 4 dies or a set of 5 dies. I have one for each of the calibers that I'm currently loading. They also have a little shell holder plate where I can mount all my shell holders, keep them all in one spot and keep them organized. They also make a cool little rack for your primer tubes. So I've got that over there on the right. So Inline Fabrication, you might want to check them out. It's a little spendy. These Ultra mounts cost about $70 some odd. but it's good quality stuff, made in America. It'll last you forever. Up on the left here I have my consumables, my powders, case lube, bullets, primers, and of course my radio, which is actually connected to my home theater system in the living room. And then I have some storage for my loaded ammunition over here on the right. Actually, I'm going to replace this with another shelving unit like that one there, so I can get a little more stuff over there. I got more stuff than I know what to do with. At any rate, that is a quick tour of my reloading benches. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it if you would like my video and maybe even subscribe. See you later.